Statement.
Thank you, Chairman Collins, and congratulations for your selection to lead the Subcommittee on Water Resources and Environment. I look forward to working with you as the vice-ranking member in meeting the water-related needs of our nation, our communities, and the hardworking families that we represent. I'm privileged to serve Michigan's 3rd Congressional District in Congress, representing miles of beautiful Lake Michigan shoreline. It's a district whose history, lifestyle, and economic well-being are bound with the health of the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are arguably the largest source of fresh water on the surface of the earth, containing roughly 20% of the world's freshwater supply. For our region, the protections of the Great Lakes and the health of our environment is not a partisan issue. It's something that is ingrained in our culture as we responsibly teach the next generation to be good stewards of our environment. Our quality of life and our very existence depend on clean water for everyday consumption, for commerce, recreation, and the overall economic vitality of the region. It supports our farmers who grow their crops from apples to pears, peach trees, and soybeans. It supports the foundation of the great craft beer that forms Beer City, USA, that I'm so proud to represent. That is why I am so deeply concerned with the harm that this administration and the allies in Congress are imposing on our clean water future. In just 3 weeks, the president has thrown cities and towns into chaos by shutting down funding allocated by Congress for water infrastructure projects, including the historic investments in water infrastructure provided through the bipartisan infrastructure law. This disarray has forced communities of all sizes to reevaluate how to deliver critical water infrastructure projects and will result in these projects taking longer, costing more, and ultimately delaying critical local economic development, environmental, and public health benefits. The administration's efforts will also undermine the roughly 28,000 jobs that are created for every $1 billion in water infrastructure investment, putting the jobs of laborers and manufacturers at risk, in addition to threatening our supply chains. Finally, these actions will hit the wallets of hardworking American families who will see higher water bills because of this uncertainty, at the same time that inflation is back on the rise. The silence of my colleagues across the aisle, whose states and communities are equally impacted by the president's moves to undermine water infrastructure spending, is somewhat surprising. It is my sincere hope that this silence is not a green light for further reduction in federal water infrastructure spending. We need it more now than ever. Our communities cannot withstand further setbacks to federal and state efforts to protect our water and our environment, and we cannot allow the president and his allies to burden American families with increased costs and public health risks. I welcome my colleagues to join me as I stand firmly in defense of our Great Lakes and freshwater supplies across the country to ensure a healthy environment and a strong economy for future generations. We can do both, and I look forward to working with anyone to realize this goal. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.